Good morning. I'm your teacher Joshua, your facilitator for today's lesson. Are you ready? Okay, fasten your seatbelt. For today, we are going to discuss videos to understand better the processes involved in protein synthesis. Here is a cell, the basic unit of all living tissue. In most human cells, there is a structure called the nucleus. So the nucleus contains the genome. In humans, the genome is split in between 23 pairs of chromosomes, and each chromosome contains a long strand of DNA tightly packed around proteins called histones. Around the proteins called histones, within the DNA are sections called the genes contains instructions for making the proteins. So when a gene is switched on an enzyme called RNA polymerase attached to the start of the gene, it moves along the DNA, making a strand of messenger RNA out of free bases in the nucleus. The DNA code determines the order in which the free bases are added to the messenger RNA. So this process is called transcription. Before the messenger RNA can be used as a template for the production of proteins, it needs to be processed. This involves removing and adding sections of RNA. The messenger RNA then moves out of the nucleus into the cytoplasm. Protein factories in the cytoplasm called ribosomes binds to the messenger RNA. So the ribosome reads the code in the messenger RNA to produce a chain made up of amino acids. So there are 20 different types of amino acids. Transfer RNA molecules carry the amino acids to the ribosome. So the messenger RNA is read 3 bases at a time. As each triplet is read, a transfer RNA delivers the corresponding amino acid. So this is added to a growing chain of amino acids. So once the last amino acids has been added, the chain folds into a complex 3D shape to form the protein. Protein synthesis. So protein synthesis translation inside the body, the process of translation occurs within every single cell. Each cell has a nucleus. After transcription, messenger RNAs move out of the nucleus and enter the cytoplasm. So these messenger RNA strands act as a template for protein synthesis. Present in the cytoplasm is an enzyme, amino acid, tRNA synthetase. The enzyme macromolecules has 2 binding sites. One site recognizes the amino acid methionine. So this is followed by the binding of the ATP molecule and release of pyrophosphate, resulting in activation of amino acid. Finally, the tRNA and the activated amino acids bind together. So this amino acylated tRNA is known as methRNA and is released from the enzyme. So this marks the commencement of first stage of protein synthesis, the initiation stage. During the 8th initiation stage, a small subunit of a ribosome binds to the messenger RNA strand. So the mRNA strand is made up of codons, which are sequence of 3 bases Then the ribosome subunits move along the messenger RNA and 5' to 3' direction until it's recognized the AUG codon or the initiation codon. So at this point, mRNA possessing the anticodon UAC pairs up with the AUG codon of the mRNA. Then a large subunit of ribosome combines with a small ribosomal subunits. So the large subunit shows 3 sites of the acceptor sites or the A site, B dial site or the P site, the exit site or the E site. So this whole unit forms the initiation complex. This is followed by the elongation stage. During this stage, another tRNA carrying molecules of an amino acid approaches the mRNA ribosomes complex and fits in the A site. Then A bond is formed between methionine and the amino acid molecule on the tRNA. As a result, methRNA become de-isolated. The ribosome then advances a distance of 1 codon and to the east side from where it dissociates. Meanwhile, another tRNA carrying an amino acid molecule attached to the A site. So this is followed by the binding of the amino acid molecules. Repetition of this process leads to the formation of an amino acid chain. So this event is called elongation. Finally, when the AUG codon or the stop codon reaches the A site, elongation is terminated. Termination is the last stage of protein synthesis. The chain of amino acid molecules is released from the ribosome. So this release amino acid chain is the protein, and this part of protein synthesis is known as translation. Synthesis then the tRNA detaches from the mRNA ribosome, detaches and dissociates into its small and large unit. Summary protein synthesis shows that the first stage involved the binding of methRNA to mRNA, the small subunit of the ribosome. The larger subunit of the ribosomes then combines with a small subunit. Second stage is the elongation stage. In this stage, the incoming amino acid tRNA fits in the A site, then a bond is formed between methionine and the amino acid molecule on the tRNA. Amino acid molecules, the process is repeated until a chain of amino acid molecules is formed. The last stage of protein synthesis is the termination stage, when the ribosome reaches the stop codon, UAG elongation stops, and the newly formed chain, which is the protein macromolecule, detaches from the subsequently, ribosomal subunits along with the tRNA dissociate from the messenger RNA. 3. In order for our bodies to function, we need to supply them with a variety of nutrients we get from our diet. So our bodies cannot use the food as it is when it enters our digestive system. The process of chemical digestion uses different proteins and enzymes to break down the food particles into usable nutrient our cells can absorb, and where there are manufacture this and all the different types of proteins we need to stay alive. So the instruction to make proteins are contained in our DNA. DNA contains genes, and gene is continuous string of nucleotides containing a region that codes for an RNA molecule. So this region begins with a promoter and ends in a terminator gene also contains regulatory subsequences that can be found near the promoter or at more distant location. For some genes, the encoded RNA is used to synthesize a protein in a process called gene expression. For these genes, expressions can be divided into two processes, transcription and translation. So in eukaryotic cells, transcription occurs in the nucleus where DNA is used as a template to make messenger RNA, then in translation which occurs in the cytoplasm of the cell. So the information containing in the messenger RNA is used to make a polypeptide. During transcription, the DNA in the gene is used as a template to make a messenger RNA strands with the help of the enzyme RNA polymerase. So this process occurs in three stages: initiation, elongation, and termination. During initiation, the promoter region of the genes functions as a recognition site for the RNA polymerase to bind this. Majority of the gene expresses its control by either permitting or blocking access to the site by the RNA polymerase binding causes the DNA double helix to unwind the open. Then during elongation, the RNA polymerase slides along the template DNA strand as the complementary bases pair up. The RNA polymerase links nucleotides to the 3' end of the growing. Once the RNA polymerase reaches the terminator portion of the gene, the messenger RNA transcript it complete, and the RNA polymerase, the DNA strand, and the messenger RNA transcript dissociate from each other. So the strand of messenger RNA that is made during transcription includes regions called exons that code for the protein and non-coding sections called introns. In order for the messenger RNA to be used in translation, the non-coding introns need to be removed and modifications such as 5' cap and a 3' poly a tail are added. This process is called intron splicing and is performed by the complex made up of proteins and RNA called a spliceosome. This complex removes the intron segments and joins the adjacent exons to produce a mature messenger RNA strands that can leave the nucleus through a nuclear pore and enter the cytoplasm to begin translation. How is the information in the mature messenger RNA strand translated into protein? The nitrogenous base are grouped into 3-letter codes called codons. So the genetic code includes 64 codons. Most codons code for specific amino acids. So there are 4 special codons, 1 that codes for start and 3 that codes for stop. So translation begins with the messenger RNA strands binding to the small ribosomal subunit upstream of the start codon. Its amino acid is brought to the ribosome by a specific transfer RNA molecule. So the type of amino acid is determined by the anticodon sequence of the transfer RNA. Complementary base pairing occurs between the codon of the messenger RNA and the anticodon on the transfer RNA. So after 3 initiator transfer RNA molecule binds the start codon, the large ribosomal subunit binds to form the translation complex and initiation is complete. In the large ribosomal subunits, there are 3 distinct regions called the EP and A sites. During elongation, individual amino acids are brought to the messenger RNA strand by a transfer RNA molecule through complementary base pairing of the codons and anticodons. Each anticodon of a transfer RNA molecule corresponds to a particular amino acids. A change transfer RNA molecule binds to A site and a peptide between its amino acids attached to the transfer RNA molecules. The P site, the complex slides down the 1 codon to the right, where now uncharged Then RNA molecule exit from the A site is open to accept the next elongation. Continue until a stop codon is released. A release factor binds to the site at a stop codon and the polypeptide is released from the transfer RNA in the P site. The entire complex dissociates and can reassemble to begin the process again at initiation. So the purpose of translation is to produce polypeptides quickly and accurately. After dissociation, the polypeptides may need to be modified before it is ready to function. Modification takes place in different organelles for different proteins. In order for a digestive enzyme to be secreted in the stomach or intestines, the polypeptide is translated into the endoplasmic reticulum, modified as it passes through the Golgi, then secreted using a vesicle through the plasma membrane of the cell into the cytoplasm. Proteins are needed for most physiological functions of the body to occur properly, such as breaking down food particles in digestion, in the processes of transcription and translation, make the production of protein possible. The job of this messenger RNA is to carry the gene message from the DNA out of the nucleus to a ribosome to produce a particular protein that is gene codes for. There can be several million ribosomes in a typical eukaryotic cell. So this complex catalytic machine uses the mRNA copy of the genetic information to assemble amino acids, building the three-dimensional proteins that are essential for the life. So let's see how it works. The ribosome is composed of one large and one small subunit that assembled around the messenger RNA, which then passes through the ribosomes like amino acid building blocks. That the small glowing red molecules are carried into the ribosomes attached to specific transfer RNAs. That's the larger green molecule, also referred to as tRNA. Green molecules also. So the small subunits of the ribosomes position to the mRNA so that it can be read in groups of 3 letters known as a codon. So each codon on the mRNA matches a corresponding anticodon on the base of a transfer RNA molecule. So the larger subunits of the ribosome removes its amino acid and points it onto the growing protein chain. As the mRNA is ratcheted through the ribosomes, the messenger RNA sequence is translated into an amino acids, and there are 3 locations inside the ribosome designated as A site, the P site, and the E site. Amino acids is a 3-step cycle. First, the RNA enters the ribosome at A site and is tested for a anticodon match with the mRNA. Next, provided there is a correct match, the tRNA is shifted to the P site and the amino acid it carries is added to the end of the amino acid chain. So the mRNA is also ratcheted on the 3 nucleotides or 1 codon. Thirdly, the spent tRNA is moved to the east side and ejected from ribosome to the recycled. As the protein synthesis proceeds, the finished chain emerges from the ribosomes. It folds up into a precise shape determined by the exact order of amino acids. Thus, the central dogma explains how the 4-letter DNA codes is quite literally turned into flesh and blood.